Hi, good morning, everybody. You got Tim and Doug from One for All Social. Um, we talk about all kinds of topics, but one of the ones I get asked about all the time because I have a daughter who just turned 11. And Doug, how old is your daughter?
10.
10, right? So I have two boys that are 14 and 12, and other parents ask me all the time, is there any way to keep kids safe on social media? Keep people from being predators, keep them from seeing things you don't want them to see. Because one parent of one of my daughter's friends asked me very specifically that their daughter wants to post videos to TikTok and Instagram and a little bit to YouTube, especially on the short side, and they want her to have that opportunity, but they don't necessarily want her to interact straight on the platform. So we were going to show a couple things today that of what they're talking about. So this is TikTok, and I have TikTok pretty well set for parental controls for let's stay professional. I don't really look at anything or follow anything that's too crazy, but every once in a while you get weird stuff that pops in like this. And yeah, it is quote innocent, but how do I explain some of this stuff to a kid? And this isn't necessarily as innocent as it should be, right? Or even things that are a little bit more adults do tend to sneak in that you wouldn't necessarily want. Like, do I want my kid having to pay attention to this kind of stuff without parental supervision? Dogs are cute, but you get everything from bloopers to medical appointments. It looks like just kind of flowing through there, and you can't stop it. Same thing on Twitter, which is probably worse. You get some very adult content that pops up over here with no warning, uh, and the filters are just almost impossible. And then speaking as a parent of a daughter, and Doug, I'd love to get your take on this. Sometimes it's the direct messages, right? So my daughter is all of 11. She's in theater. She's taking dance lessons. She loves to do that kind of stuff on video and then share it with her friends. But she'd like to do it on social media. And she's coming up on being a teenager, right? So do I really want people seeing her videos and sending direct messages, right? That kind of stuff. Doug, what do you have that same issue?
Yeah, and it's funny because this all stemmed from games for us to begin with. But first off, she doesn't have her own accounts as of yet, but we're basically monitoring her usage through our own accounts. In other words, we browse together and we have a set amount of time, so it's limited and managed, not to take a while and go browse on TikTok or whatever. But like you, we have a family friendly curated account, but stuff still sneaks in. But we'll spend 15 minutes maybe in the evening just going through it for fun, to kind of get exposed. But it's our account, not hers yet. There will come a time when she'll get her own account, and then she'll already have some better judgment, basically being taught by us how to manage it.
Yeah, and even some of the video games, right? There's these online chat things in the video games. So you've got Discord servers, you've got all kinds of stuff. And I want my kids to be able to use it, and I want them to be able to post stuff. But how do you keep all that other noise from showing up? So
Yeah, we were using our daughter's a real fan of Minecraft and Roblox, which are two of the most popular games out there, right? Now, those thankfully do have some controls that allow you to, block chats and only join up with friends, so to speak. But you still got to be careful because people still flip around those controls there too. So, same thing. Monitor limited contact with those, even though they have those controls.
yeah, and you could say it's a friend, or how do I really know that, Joe Schmuck 27 is actually Elliot, my 14-year-old's friend from school?
Right.
And at what age do you take a 14 or 15-year-old and say, okay, I just trust you to tell me that's your actual friend and it's not just somebody you found online, right? And I'm not going to call their parents and say, hey, is this your? I mean, it just gets to a point where it's like, where's the limit? So one of the things we have in our platform at the One for All social side is we do have a system that we've built out that allows you to connect to these 7 platforms so far, and there'll be others that expand in the future. But we've got Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, including YouTube Shorts. Instagram includes Reels, and you can post directly from here so that it can go out onto your kids can have that experience to kind of load it onto the web. But if you use our Teams function as a family, you can create a team and allow your kid. And this is another one I caught my daughter doing one day. She wanted to post a video, but it had some language in it that she shouldn't have used. It wasn't curse words. It was just the way she phrased something didn't come across right. She wasn't trying to be uh, anything that would get her canceled. She just phrased. She just didn't know, right? She just didn't understand that certain words are derogatory to certain people, so she didn't use it. She was something she said would have been very derogatory to certain Asian people, and she's half Asian, so I know she didn't mean to do it. She just did. But the Teams function allows her to have permission to load things into the platform, and then I can take a look at it before it ever goes out. So I can check it for those little crazy things in there that might come back to bite her in the future. And that way, she doesn't have direct access to post on the platform, but she can post it here. I can say yes or no and send it out. And the only way to get direct messages is on our little box. And if you don't set permissions to send direct messages back when you connect the account, you can't get those. And we're going to put a little toggle switch in here anyway in the future that lets you turn that feature off and on. And even if she does send posts out, you can go in and look at all of her delivered posts in the system to see what it is she has actually sent out. So I think gives everybody a great way to kind of add an extra safety layer in the middle and say, okay, not only does she have an account now, but she can post things and her friends can see her, but it at least adds a layer that says, hey, look, I'm at least seeing everything before it goes, because we all know 11-year-old girls and boys, and they're about to become teenagers. And if I give her all of the passwords and everything to Instagram or YouTube, she's going to skip this and load it straight to the platform, and I'm going to get no warning, and then I'm going to get a bunch of messages that say, "Oh my God, right? What's going on?" Well, this gives me a chance to really kind of curate it a little bit, and it gives me also a chance to see what's in my daughter's head uh, in ways I might not otherwise be able to.
Yeah, and this really hits home for both Tim and I, right? Being fathers, especially with young ladies, but just being parents in general. Um, but this is just the two of us. So, what do you guys think? I'd love for you to give us some comments and responses down below. Give us some feedback. What do you think would be other good features we could add to O4A that might be able to protect children, provide more parental oversight as kids get older and start to delve into social media? Please respond in the comments.
Exactly. We have taken user feedback before and incorporated new features. So if you had, like Doug said, if you have any suggestions on a way we can put something in our system that would help keep kids even safer, please let us know. We're happy to have that discussion, and maybe we'll add it. We had a couple of testers early on that came up with suggestions. We added it. They're now in the app, right? So, hit us up. We are always open to that response.